AI and AI lounge music. Good morning, my friends. It's your old pal PeaceLoveMusic with another episode of the Let's Go Stacks Good Morning Show, brought to you live by DeOrganized Media in partnership with our good friends at BitcoinLive, Decentralized Broadcasting. It is Friday morning, the 10th of January, and it's a great day in our ecosystem. I got Jack Binswitch and Giga Pepe coming on to chat with me about some really great stuff going on. And we've had a great week. DeOrganized has had a great week. Stack seems to be really bubbling up. I love what's happening here. A bunch of the projects that are building in the space have been delivering and iterating. And it's really a great time to be here, in my opinion. And I hope you all have had a blessed week. It is Friday, so we got to finish the week out strong. And I'm happy to be here. Friendly reminder, we are a news show. We are providing information only. We are not financial advisors. This is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Never invest money you cannot afford to lose. With that being said, the numbers in this morning, Bitcoin actually just dipped down below 95. It shot back up to the 95 range, coming in at 94,826. Stacks up a little bit at $1.54, moving up to the number 50 spot. By market cap on CoinMarketCap, fear and greed index is down a little bit, back down. It's still in the neutral range, but down from close to 50 to 43. And the top three gainers on CoinMarketCap for the past 24 hours are AI16Z, SWI, which I have a little bit of that, but I was a little mad at SWI because when I did a ton of testing early on testnet for SWI before they launched, and they hosed the US users and didn't give us any of the airdrops, so I boycotted for a long time. And OM Mantra token is in number 3, so I shouldn't have let my emotions get the best of me on SWI. It looks like. Friendly reminder: when you stack your stacks, when you stack your STX, you earn yield in Bitcoin. Tell your friends, guys. If you don't know this, when you buy STX, Stacks is a layer 2 on Bitcoin. It's secured to the Bitcoin blockchain through a process called proof of transfer, and part of that, it allows regular users to stake their stacks or stack their stacks in a stacking pool, earn yield on their stacks to help secure the network, and that yield is paid in Bitcoin every 2 weeks, and the yield is like 9% right now. So you can buy stacks, hold your stacks, maybe generate some equity value just from price appreciation, and all the while you're earning 9% against Bitcoin. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? We do have a couple of great sponsors on our show right now. We really love them and appreciate them. And our first sponsor, why is that not showing? That's twice now. I'm gonna have to. Hold on. Oh, there it is. All right. So, my friends, oops. All right. My friends, our first sponsor is Hermetica. When you, if you guys haven't heard, if you're into Bitcoin and you're looking to earn some yield, some solid yield on your Bitcoin, you have to check out Hermetica. They've got USDH. It's a Bitcoin-backed stablecoin that is not just stable, but earns up to 25% yield. You can head on over to hermetica.fi, stake your USDH, and start earning immediately. It's that easy. Go check it out now at hermetica.fi. And I can't say enough cool things about the project, the team over there. They're running a great show. I think it's very innovative. Basically, they have a dollar stable coin that's pegged to Bitcoin, backed by Bitcoin. The only thing that's volatile on the dollar stable coin is the yield. The yield adjusts with the price of Bitcoin. And it's a great way if you are going to keep some of your capital in US dollar stable coins or dollar pegged stable coins. USDH seems like a no-brainer to me. So head on over there now and check out Hermetica.fi. My Rhode Island accent, we drop our R's. So Hermetica.fi. And if that's hard for you, you can just head over on to the QR code right there, and that'll bring you right over there. You can start earning on dollar stable coins, just saving dollars and earning up to 25%. What's better than that? Russia has seized $10 million in Bitcoin from an ex-official on a bribery case. That's that's not surprising, but maybe they're looking at ways to prop up their own strategic reserve. Grayscale updated its lists of assets under consideration, including Caspa, Aptos, Arbitrum, Celestia. Looks like they're interested in a lot of projects. HBAR, MNT, SEI, SAY token. I'm not sure what S is. Starknet, TON. That's Telegram token. Tron, Arrow, BNB, Athena, Injective, Jupiter, Ondo, Pendle, Rune, Doge, IMX, Kosh Network, FET AI, AR, I'm not sure which one that is, Eigenlayer, HNT, JTO, Pith Network, WorldCoin, I think, Hype, Flock, and Grass. Now, those are all the ones that they're proposing to be new assets under consideration. Stacks is actually, there is already a Stacks Grayscale Trust product. So Stacks is on that list already ahead of all of those other projects. What is Grayscale now? Bitcoin's blockchain nears Visa's transaction volumes and surpasses PayPal, while stablecoins outpace PayPal and close in on traditional finance systems. Institutional adoption is here. It's here. Binance lists 3 new AI tokens: AIXBT, CGPT, Chain, that's Chain GPT, and Cookie, which I'm not as familiar with. I'm going to have to learn about a new one, sparking price surges up to 66% as AI gains momentum. MetaMask is currently hiring, quote, senior product manager for Bitcoin network integration, Runes, Ordinals, Lightning Network, and Layer 2s. Interesting. Yeah, we already have some great wallets for those things as well. So, but it's good to see that MetaMask has a huge user base that's not integrated into those tokens. So it's a huge benefit to our ecosystem. U.S. Senate eyes crypto subcommittee as Trump considers pro-crypto Summer Mersinger as CFTC chair ahead of inauguration. It's coming. They're talking about, it's the building pieces of the government out into crypto, like to support crypto and deal with crypto. This is what we've been waiting for, folks. BlackRock's IBIT currently holds 551,076 BTC, nearly 3% of the total Bitcoin supply in a year. They've accumulated 3% of the supply in a year. Don't sell your Bitcoin to BlackRock or Michael Saylor. Bitcoin miner CleanSpark now holds 10,097 BTC in its treasury, becoming the 4th public listed mining firm to currently hold more than 10,000 Bitcoin. Former Prime Minister of UK Liz Truss says, I am a supporter of Bitcoin and crypto. I think they're a good thing. Me too, Liz. I think they're a good thing. All tools, it's really how you apply them and use them, right? Anything that you can use to multiply and increase your productivity is a good thing, as long as the benefits outweigh the harms, right? Bitcoin and crypto seems to have far more beneficial uses than causing harm. But it's all about perspective and what you consider to be being harmed. If you're in a position of control over the situation, Bitcoin could be a little bit scary to you. You have to give up a little bit of your power to allow others to grow as they will without your own influence on it. That can be tricky for those that already have that position. Guys, again, another great sponsor of our show. Big shout out to Alex. With SBTC now live, don't miss Surge 2 campaign on Alex. Rewards have been doubled to 2 million Alex for the Surge, for the liquidity providers for the Surge, and some of the best yields on stacks for SBTC and meme coins will be found on the Alex Surge. So be sure to check it out at app.alexlab.co/surge. And you can actually get to that. It's a little bit trickier to type out. Still easy for most of us that are used to keyboard warriors, but you can just scan that QR code and it'll bring you right over there. Stacks is now live on Travala. I forgot about this, was yesterday's news, but you can now book your dream trip and pay with STX, the native token on Stacks ecosystem on Travala.com. Crazy stuff. The team over at AIBTC.dev has innovated again. Very soon, like next week, you will be able to launch your AI DAO managed by your AI agents Wow. Amazing. Bitflow has announced their Bitflow Keepers. It's a personalized smart contract automation for Bitcoin DeFi. Bitflow Keepers are services that simplify the painful parts of Bitcoin DeFi management. Gary Reiger's gated.so in alpha test. You can go set up your account now at gated.so. It only costs you 1 stacks to be early. And Gary's platform, if you guys don't know, Gary's building a platform to help creators retain control over the things that they create. Content creators, art, music. It's really interesting stuff he's working on over there. So go check it out, gated.so. Are you looking to get started as a developer with Stacks? You can head on over to www.stacks.co/build/get-started, or you can just go to stacks.co and over to the top, right on that page, it says Get Started. And in there, you can access developer tools, learn the basics, build a full app, and even get ways to get paid to build. That's over on stacks.co. Go check it out. Are you interested in helping builders and devs test out their projects on Stacks? We're building a tester QA community. We have a number of people already in there. We've helped out a bunch of projects, including Gary's gated project I mentioned earlier. We mentioned Bitflow. Actually, our group did a little bit of testing before they launched their runes, AMM. And, if you are interested in doing that kind of thing, learning about new projects and helping devs, and or if you're a dev and you're looking for a community of testers to help you test stuff out and give you some feedback, DM me at PeaceLoveMusicG on X, and we'll get you in there. Have you guys checked out Fact.Fun? It's a new project on a new token launch platform on X. So now we have 2 great token launch platforms. There's STX.City and Fact.Fun. They both do it a little bit differently, similar types of things, but now there are a couple of ways you can go and mint the token and or participate in bonding curve token launches over at Fact.Fun and STX.City. So just more stuff going on in Stacks in the ecosystem. It's a great time to be here. And the Stacks Sip and Innovation Community Call every Friday at 11 a.m. That's today with Hero Gamer and the Stacks org. Come learn about the latest developments on the Stacks chain and give us your input on what you would like to see built on Stacks. That's at 11 a.m. today. That's for everyone to participate. We want to get as much feedback on what's being built and what's being developed, more input out from the community, as well as having a focal point for where we can talk about what's being built and what's developing on Stacks. So we hope to see you there at 11 a.m. today. That's a space on X. And if you're not following Hero Gamer and you're in the space, you should be. So go check that out. And wow, we have a bunch of people in the audience today saying hi. What's up, Bow Hunter? What's up, DeFi Dictator? Is there a possibility of airdrop staking with HUSDT? It's USDH. I don't know HUSDT if that's something I'm not familiar with that yet, so I might have to go check it out. What's up, Hannah, my brother? It's very good for the Bitcoin ecosystem. Good morning, Reese. Love you, man. What's up, P Lord? Travala is huge. Yeah, that's amazing, right? It's crazy. And AI Rue DAO. What is this? AI Rue DAO. If only we had someone to talk about that with. I think we do, actually. Let me bring our guests up. Great segue into the. Good morning, Jack. How are you? Good morning, GPSC. How are you today?
Good morning, gentlemen. How's it going, man? Two of my favorite people in the space. So check this out. I got to do a shout out to Leather real quick. This is my sweater I got from Leather during the 12 days of Leather for Christmas.
Oh,
but actually, like, so Leather's in my DMs. They're like, hey, you you won this thing. I'm like, really? I'm like, that's awesome. Thanks, guys. So actually, no, like 300 is giving this to you. Like he originally won, but like, but you know, 300 originally won, but he wanted to gift this to you. So like, I'm like super, super pumped. Huge shout out to 300. You know, I got this sweatshirt. It's one of the best Christmas gifts I got, man. Like for real. You know, Leather and 300 made it happen. So that's awesome. Very, very, very excited about that.
He's probably one of maybe the most undervalued. Not that he's not valued, but he's one of the biggest unsung heroes in the space, I guess I should say.
Here's the reality of it. It's very, very easy for people who do a lot in the community for the community to actually be slept on, right? Like that's the reality. You know, we do this because we love it. We don't do it because like there's anything in it for us. Like I've been in this ecosystem for, you know, since early 2022, and I like just did stuff. I didn't know anyone cared about anything I did up until relatively recently. You just do it, you know, like there's no accolades. You just do that shit. And that's part of like what's been so cool about what's been going on with Stacks this week. You know, like there's been some very cool progress made on that front. And
there's a lot more. There's a lot more information coming out from a lot of different directions. That's important information for the community to have. You know, I don't think we just weren't getting it. Like I know I can appreciate there's a balance, and you don't want to be. You don't want it to be creating noise. You want it to actually be messages that are getting out there. So I can appreciate why there maybe have been a hesitancy to go this where it is now. But I think this is actually what we need. There needs to be more. It's okay if people miss posts because there's so much cool stuff happening to talk about. There's nothing wrong with that because we all get together and talk regularly. So if I missed it, you didn't miss it, and we're going to talk about it.
That's been the challenge with Stacks. Again, I can speak since 2022, and I'm sure the people who've been here longer than I have can speak to it even well. You know, you have entities very focused on what they're doing and very focused on what they're good at and being in their lane, and not everyone's good at everything, you know. So again, this like nobody can do when I need some art, I'm like, Gigafeppy, brother, like let's make this happen, right? And he's just on it. Like when we need to get some media out, like nobody's doing decentralized media better than DeOrganized, right? Like this is where it's at, you know. So we all have what we're good at, and that's true of like the higher ups, you know, at the foundation or what have you. And it's just a matter of just getting all of these circuits kind of like connected, so there can be, you know, much less friction, and that's what we're seeing happen right now. And it's just like, look, man, like we're old married guys, so we can tell everyone here, like the most important thing in a relationship is communication. If you don't have good communication, that's when you have misunderstanding. That's when, you know, everything just goes off the rails. You have to have the good communication.
And there's two pieces of communication. There's the message you're trying to get across, but there's also listening. You have to listen to the message that the person you're communicating with is sending back to you. That's 100%. An important part. And sometimes that message coming in, you're not getting it all. And so be prepared to maybe get it wrong and have to listen a little bit more to understand what you've got. You know, it takes some active listening is actually something we need to.
And that's what we got. Like we've got some active listening, and like it's been
very much.
Yeah, and like it's been super positive. You know, that's why like throwing a hissy fit or just, you know, on the other end pretending like everything's fine. Neither of these are acceptable. Like, and this is good. This is like, here's the reality. Like, okay, so here's the reality of where we're at. Stacks literally just went from being one thing and it's in the process of turning into something else. We're going from the caterpillar to the butterfly, man. And like, so you're in the chrysalis right now, right? And like things are happening, right? Like, and that's the thing.
Excellent analogy.
If you can make people understand that, and if people can understand that because the communication's clear, it can better be communicated. Like, look, man, like, yeah, obviously stacks blocks aren't fully 100% optimized right now because like, and we did say this, like we wanted to release it on time, right? There was a strategic decision. We could release it on time where it's not Nakamoto, I'm speaking of, where it's not 100% optimized, but we don't have the FUD of being like, well, we got a delay. So we got to get through these growing pains, you know, like, and then you have SBTC, which is massive, which is something that we need to talk about too. But like, once you're like, oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Like I'm in my shit. I'm sitting here focused on all my stuff and trying to get things cranked out. But you're right. Like it is better to have Nakamoto speeds at all, even though they're not 100% of where they're going to be, right? Than not have it and have had to have another delay. Like that's perfect sense. So
100%. And I think it's really, I just think that so what could have been done better with it was a little bit more outward projection of the idea that we were going to be launching this, and that's the achievement, but that's not the end. It's not what comes first isn't going to be the full functionality. It's going to take a little while, so be ready. And I understand it's delicate saying that, especially when you're already a little bit delayed, and then saying, well, we're going to be launching it, but it's not going to, how do you say that without causing FUD? You know, it's not easy, but there are.
And then the other part of that, right, is okay. So from the community side, what we see and what we experience, you know, from the trenches or retail or however you want to phrase it, is like, guys, like I know y'all are in love with what you've made here, and it is cool because it is cool to like love what you created. Like I understand that y'all understand that, like, but you see, we're all talking right now, and so if y'all are like, dude, Stacks Invaders are retarded, and this is why. Like, and you give me feedback, we can talk, right? And we have a thing. So the thing is, if you're like, guys, I know y'all think that like y'all have made something really awesome here, and we agree that you have, but the people that need this messaging is not us, and we need to be equipped to give those people this messaging. Because then, what do you see yesterday on the timeline? You see, hey, some of these L2s don't have the Bitcoin they claim they have. No shit. This is why we like SBTC. Like, this is what we need on people to understand. We know that this is inevitable. You know that this is inevitable. But like the people you need to reach in retail do not know this industry as well as you do. They do not know this tech as well as you do. And you need to handle the messaging because what they see is big green candles. And like they see hype and they see these things. So we know why SBTC is a superior product. But like, you know why. But that's not sufficient. And it's especially not sufficient when like everyone's going to take the label that might rightfully belong to you and apply it to their nonsense. And none of it matters to anyone until someone gets hurt. But the more people who learn about the better alternatives before they get hurt, the better, and empower us to help make that happen. And we're seeing that, you know, and that's massively positive. So, you know, super bullish, to be honest. Like I give a fuck about prices right now. Like, you know, you have intelligent FUD and you have unintelligent FUD. Unintelligent FUD is like, why isn't number going up? Well, I don't know, man. Like, could be a million reasons why. It's usually tied to the macro market. And then there's intelligent FUD. And like what we had in the ecosystem was a little bit. You had people being like, look, listen, this is not an unintelligent FUD. This is not like this. Your community and Stacks is your greatest asset. We already know this, right? So you've got so much talent and so many smart people here and so many hard workers. Like, so it just needs to be tied in better. And it is. Just like when you were talking this morning in the beginning about, you know, stacking stacks. And that's stacking stacks is awesome. Most people have no idea how it works outside the stacks ecosystem. Some people in it don't know how it works.
Right.
And you know what else is awesome?
Right.
Liquid staking of stacks.
That's right.
And now you can like stay liquid and get Bitcoin rewards and stacks rewards soon with Stacking DAO. So like Stacking DAO needs to be like in your DMs being like, say, bro, when you do your morning show, like,
let me know what's going on.
Right.
Yeah, what's going on.
Right. It's that simple. Like, but we're going to get through this. Like, these are growing pains.
Right. It's all coming online. And things are moving actually so very rapidly, actually. It's just a matter of it's not all exactly. The expectations aren't necessarily being set ahead of time to relay some of the unintelligent FUD.
Right.
You know what I mean? Well, and there's also been a handful of, we're in a space where there are bad actors out there, and they take advantage of situations. And so there have been, in all ecosystems, it happens, but it's happened. We have a kind of a very close-knit community. So when there's an exploit or when somebody gets hurt, we kind of all hear about it. So there's that there was a number of events that also kind of contributed, I think, to the way people were feeling about things. You know, some of the consternation, some of the frustration or anxiety in the space was multifaceted. Plus, it's, you know, people get different emotions around the holidays. It's the end of the year. Everyone's tired. We've been working hard. So there's a number of factors in this. But at the end of the day, it all culminated in a positive development. All of the developments out of this have been positive, in my opinion.
So check it out. When you look at a price chart, you're looking at human emotions, right? So how's this for some human emotions? You remember what it was like when you're like, oh, thank God Trump won the election. Like this freak show, clown show's over. Has this not been the longest amount of time since the election until the new administration comes into power in the history of the world? My goodness. Like, it's like watching paint dry, waiting for these criminal fucks to like go wherever they're going to go.
It's like watching paint dry that could potentially spontaneously combust,
right?
Or it dries.
Right. And so like it's like, yeah, no shit, like things are bearish in the market. Like every day I'm like, my God, what fresh hell is coming to gonna come across the timeline today? So like, yeah, it's probably not super bullish feeling right now, but that doesn't change the underlying reality. You know, how'd the market respond? What are the plans? What are things looking like? Do you feel as though like more confident people are coming to try to like just, you know, steer us off of this cliff edge that we're headed towards? But overall, it really is saying that just to say there's a lot to be bullish about, but it's not, dude, it's not going to be bullish all the time. You're exactly right. People are like, oh my God, like, can we just get past this horrible chapter in our history and things just stop sucking so bad? And maybe, you know, maybe we can, like I saw a headline yesterday, like Gen Z's going through a midlife crisis because the job market sucks so bad. Like you talk about rug pulls, ain't nobody got rug pull harder than Gen Z, you know?
Well, and that's the thing is that there are jobs out there, but you got to work your ass off. You got to work your ass off, and you got to have skills. And even then, it's not even that there's lack of jobs. It's that the cost of everything is
so high.
Right, much more difficult.
Dude, when I was 18, minimum wage was $4.25 an hour in the U.S.
100 years ago.
Right. Yeah. Basically, so $4.25 minimum wage. So you're going back to like 97 or so, and then like I had a job. It was manual labor, pretty hard job, but I really liked it. Starting pay was $8 an hour in 1997.
Right.
So that's above minimum wage now. And you know what I could do at $8 an hour in 1997? Like I could go to Burger King and get my breakfast on the way to work and pay like $2 for it. You know, things like rent for an apartment was like $400 a month.
Well,
Like,
minimum wage in my state is like $15.
yeah.
So
And
you
like where are we at? And like there's a lot of parts in the country where it's still 725. And I'm not talking about the minimum wage discussion in general. I'm just talking about the fact that like wages and all have not kept up with inflation. We all know this,
right?
You know, and people, you know, people are hurting real bad. And like, so we're sitting here with like some solutions, right? Like this is why we're all here. And we're just finally at that moment. We're like, okay, take these handcuffs off of me, get these clowns and go do something with these assholes so that like we can start trying to right this ship. It's a gigantic ship and we have to turn course, and everyone's just ready for that to happen. And in the meanwhile, minutes feel like days while you've got these idiots and criminals, you know, just that you cannot just get rid of fast enough in charge of this country. So like, I get it. It's not going to be super bullish right now, but that's not the reality. And if you get shaken out, damn. What really sucks is for people.
Don't get shaken out now. This is not the time. This is the time. That's what they want you to do. This is not the time to. This is diamond hand time. This is the time where you sit on your hands. If you're not feeling good about, when you go look, all you can think about is selling. Don't look.
No.
Look.
Like when I sell because I have to pay bills, and it kills me. It literally kills me. Like, because I know it's coming. You know, like I'm ready to start selling blood. You know, I've got 2 testicles. I only need 1. I got enough kids. Like, I got 2 kidneys. I only need 1. That's where your mind should be. Like, what can I sell to get more Bitcoin to set myself up? Right? Not let me sell my Bitcoin because, you know, I'm a paper-handed pussy. Pardon my language. Like, it's just.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I'm panicked. I'm panicked about, like, because I run a business, and you know my real estate income is not consistent. Right. So I'll have a run, and I'll feel real rich, and then I'll have a period where we just not getting as much closings or not as much stuff happening. I have no income coming in. So I have to kind of diamond hand my cash a little bit, you know. I'm just like, no, don't buy stuff.
Hey, wait, Reese, put Reese's comment up there. So hold on. We got these AI DAOs coming out. We can make something happen here. Like, I'm pretty sure.
Don't do anything rash, man. Just rent them out.
Yeah, like but in all seriousness, like, it's gonna be okay, guys. It's truly gonna be okay. We keep doing what we're doing, and we do. Like, we've said this on this show a million times. Most Bitcoin L2s are going to fail. They're going to suck. Some are going to do well. We believe we're in the best Bitcoin L2. We believe in Bitcoin. Let's like stay the course. I mean, we're literally a few days away now from watching AI do stuff with Bitcoin on stacks. You know, like, okay, so Gigapeppy knows this. We've been sitting here talking about, to give you an idea what this means, just in a practical sense. For months now, some of the OG brews we've had discussions. We're like, look, here's what we're gonna do with Rue. Like, as this goes on and this community is more mature and we have more leaders and so forth, we're gonna start accelerating projects. We're gonna start taking projects, helping builders build their community, do these kind of things, right? And so you're sitting there thinking, you're like, okay, what's going to be the best way to do this? And then it's like, oh yeah, there's about to be a DAO that's going to be AI that now becomes a whole new toolkit where we can facilitate this. Perhaps it looks like a Rue investment DAO. Perhaps it looks like, you know, whatever. But now there we go. I'm not interested in a traditional DAO, but an AI DAO, that's very interesting to me.
Well, yeah, because the biggest problem. So, you know this from the Node Rocks. Back in the Node Rocks thing, it was a community thing, and we were trying to figure out how to kind of organize it, but still having it be decentralized.
Right.
And there was a general resistance to that they would say we don't DAO. We don't DAO. It was the answer, and it's understandable why, because nothing happens unless people. A DAO still, it's not autonomous.
Right.
It's actually not really autonomous. It requires people to get involved and interact and propose things and agree to things. And if it's AI based, and you can actually have these AI agents that are there to kind of handle all of that minutia, and then you can just go and look at it when you feel like you need to, and or adjust it through your agents. That's changing the game on how that becomes useful. That's actually where our whole DeOrganized, the name came from a response of we don't DAO. I extended it to we do DeOrganized. We decentrally organized, but it's not autonomous. It's not really autonomous, but maybe it can be with the AI, which is still not autonomous because you still have to program the AI and tell the AI what to do, but it's a leveraged tool. It requires less constant attention. So yeah, it's a huge game changer. And then I'm going to have my now I can also use my space and my stacks invaders to. I'm going to be able to create my own AI agents with my stacks invaders, and they can represent me in the DAO maybe or something. Who knows?
How cool is that, man? Like we've been dealing with these guys. We've got an AI team we've been in communication with for about 10 weeks now, and been just started with some ideas and iterating, and so like an AI agent that you can own, you can train, you can sell, whatever. Like how cool is that to be able to include that with the Stacks Invaders collection and be able to do so after the fact and have it just be like a natural thing, because this is how Rue works. This is how Stacks Invaders works.
So you're saying that this is the initial iteration of the establishment of NFTs that represent AI agent ownership that can then be put into a wallet. Now that wallet is actually the AI agent's wallet. What's up, Crypto Dude? Crypto Dude is actually iterating some new stuff on his crypto cash platform and the Derupt platform.
We need to decentralize social media, man, big time. But I'm telling you, like, and that's the meta. Like, just literally yesterday, I started seeing other teams and projects talking about combining AI and NFTs, and so we're this is what we talk about all the time here. Like, there's so many things happening. There's so many convergences happening. So many things are about to change, and we're in the middle of it. And look, like, the MetaMask news can seem big to anybody, but guys, it hits especially hard if you were here, back in like DeFi summer, because MetaMask is synonymous with DeFi summer. When people started going to trade on chain,
you had to have it, right?
You got a MetaMask. They went to Uniswap, like. So to see that, and I'm very happy with the wallets we have in this ecosystem. I don't really use my MetaMask for anything anymore, honestly. But like, I'm not going to use it. But to see how many people will and how many people that's going to onboard,
right?
Massive.
It's like, the same as like, I'm not going to use the BlackRock ETF, but it's a great look at what it's done for us as far as getting people, just the headlines, just the awareness, just the people talking about Bitcoin.
I don't know if you saw Hodl Stacks. He put out an excellent post on Twitter the other day. He said, okay, what if this particular alt season looks different? Because in typical alt seasons, you had this relationship between the Bitcoin crypto market and alts, and this time the Bitcoin crypto market is actually being moved outside of crypto, which is true. Like, the moves that we've seen in Bitcoin have been from TradFi, they've been from Sailor and BlackRock and ETFs and all this. So that might explain this disassociation between Bitcoin and alts that we've never seen before. I think it was a very compelling post, a very good observation. And so, because we're being run up by TradFi right now. Alts are just doing their stuff. It doesn't change the underlying reality that the crypto market, traditional crypto natives, by and large, are very underexposed to Bitcoin. And again, it goes back to a lot of these people who are traders. They're going to be looking for beta plays. Where's your beta plays? Or your Bitcoin L2s? This is the best Bitcoin L2. So, higher ups and people at Stacks, listen to the community where our heads are at, because we've literally got our heads and feet in the trenches, and use that to your advantage. I had the chance to talk to a lot of people from Stacks this week, and I'm like, guys, we need more builders right now. You need volume, because again, getting back to your customer base, your retail, they don't understand the difference between EVM and proof of transfer. These might as well be Greek to most of these people. What they do understand is volume. They understand big green candles. That's why you never hear me being like, win marketing, because that's your marketing in this industry.
Right.
So
there's marketing is communications, but not all communications is necessarily marketing.
100%. So your builders, you're a builder in this space. How difficult is what you're doing right now? It's not easy. I know, like what we're doing is not easy at all. It's called bootstrapping.
It's 100% bootstrapping. You know what?
Right?
You know what? It's easy in. There are so many great people in this space that are willing to collaborate and help and give of themselves to help me move forward, and we're helping each other, and people realize that. So that part is great.
100%. It goes back to
doing it with, like, all right. So I mean, I have sponsors, and and I love Jacob and Hermetica and giving us the first opportunity, and Alex and Hadan and Genta and all of them over there, and giving us some chances to kind of be a real media company and have some, and working on our processes with a little bit of income. But it's not it's what I'm getting from that is not sustaining this. So eventually there's going to be, we got to figure out how to actually make it sustainable.
Right.
But I think that there's enough I think we're providing enough value where we can figure that out.
Yeah. And part of that is making, allowing people throughout the ecosystem who they have other roles where they're just not, in the community proper, like we are, just 24/7, because they're handling their own stuff, for them to see the value of what DeOrganized is, for them to see the value of, like, why is a meme coin community important? Why are NFT projects important? Because these are the things that are going to get your retail to notice this blockchain, like it or not. Okay, so here's the reality. Stacking DAO is Zest. They're amazing. They're great. They're great platforms. But here's the deal. You want to get the guy from Solana who's only got a $500 portfolio. He is not going to take his $500 and just immediately put that in Stacking DAO. He's not going to take his $500 and mess with Zest. He's trying to, like, turn $500 into $50,000. That's what he's trying to do. How is he going to do that? It's going to be through things like perp decks. It's going to be through things like meme coins. It's going to be through things like NFTs, right? So you have to understand that piece. And, like, you don't have to, like, guess. Like, we can tell you. We can tell you that because you've got people in this space who understand these markets, better than literally anyone else in the world, right?
And part of it too, so Stacking DAO and Zest can't promote certain things.
Right.
Stacks can't promote certain things.
100%.
A decentralized, deorganized media entity that's not directly tied to any of them can actually talk about everything.
Right. Oh, 100%. Exactly it. So, like, utilize that. Utilize the wealth of knowledge you have here when trying to figure out your messaging. Utilize, like, take advantage of what you got. And I think, again, like, we've seen some massive progress there. And it's great. It's a beautiful thing because there is a lot to be bullish about. There's a lot to be excited about. Look at, you saw the video with Rainfire when he's basically like, look, guys, like, this is Velar, and here's what we're about. We're about offering people the opportunity to take advantage in a financial system that they would otherwise not be able to access. If you talk to Shiente from Alex, that's the same thing. If you talk to her, she'll tell you the same thing. This is why we started Alex, so that people could take advantage of this that would not otherwise have the opportunities. Like, this is real, guys. Like, this is real, and we have to we have to pay very close attention. Now, what do you do on Alex? You trade tokens. What do you do on Velar? You trade tokens. This is a very important part of all these things, and we have to figure out how to amplify that, and so people can understand. It's just like with Rue. Why did we make Rue? We wanted to make something that we could experiment with and try to make cool things for people, but at the same time, giving people the opportunity to participate in crypto without having to worry about being rug pulled, and just like, people don't have that. Okay, you have that here, and if you want to come into this ecosystem and you want to take a chance at like something really high risk, high reward, you can do that too. Like, but you have alternatives, you have choices. This is and by the way, it's all on Bitcoin. So this is the value prop. So like you're going to turn those $500 degens into long-term players who are going to utilize things like stacking DAO and so forth, but you have to get them here first. You're not going to get them here with that. Not you're going to get people with a lot of capital to deploy, and that's great.
So Velar and Alex are great, both of the and stacking DAO and Zest and Bitflow. We have some great DeFi options here, but you're right, they're not. I can trade tokens on on Alex and on Velar, and I can provide liquidity, but there's not a ton of huge yield on that, and it's risk. There's risk involved when you're doing that, but there's not. You're talking about we need more like a perp dex, which is coming.
Yeah.
We need leverage trading. Right.
Yeah, you need that for sure. And then, again, so we're talking about AI yesterday. You start seeing the timeline talking about AI yesterday. Literally the day before, I'm talking to some guys from Stacks. I'm like, look, you need to attract builders, and here's your narratives. This is what's in the trenches. AI and DeSci is starting to become nascent. So we have to figure out ways to encourage builders to come use Stacks and come make their products on Stacks. And how do you do that? Well, there's grants, there's volume, or there's VCs. And so if you break it down and you look at it, grants, okay, that's probably only doable to a point. VCs kind of saturated, very hard to do that. And plus, if you're just trying to give a community your best value, you immediately can't. You have to get your VCs are getting the best value. Right. So it's like, well, what does this third option look like when you're trying to build liquidity that you need, and you have to attract builders, and you have to. So this is a section where we can troubleshoot this and like start making things happen. And again, so like with something like an AI DAO, like an investment DAO, that could be facilitated with, long-standing communities or artists and people who know how to like run crypto projects. So now what about a decentralized way to hook a builder up who's very good at his piece with a trenches guy who's very good at his piece and an art guy who's very good at his piece, and combining these things to be like, okay, we can like somewhat try to bootstrap this, but hey, now there's like these vehicles that if they like what they see, you can get funding from them, and it's all decentralized. Like, so let's facilitate that. And so it looks like we're going to have that with AI. So let's like double down on that. Let's like see what we can make happen. So there's ways to work through all of these things. It just takes a team effort, and at the foundational level is that communication, right? Like we were talking about earlier. Like, I'm sitting there with my tooth dying yesterday, waiting to go to the dentist next week, and my wife comes home and she's like, "You idiot! Like, you have to go to the doctor and get some antibiotics. Like, you're gonna die. What are you stupid?" Yeah. Like, thanks.
For me, I'm like, just have some shots of whiskey, you'll be fine.
Right. Right. Well, guys embrace this up. Like, this is how we operate. But it's like, that was communication. So you apply the same thing to what we're doing here. and we get through and we evolve and we get stronger and better because we're in a superior situation, and we just have to take full advantage of that.
Yeah, and honestly, it's all coming. Like, it's part of it is just we kind of know where we need to go, and it's just going to take some time for everything to work out to get us there. And so it's hard to wait. But again, the more communication that we have about where it's going, we get kind of a little bit more comfortable with that we are confident that it's going where in the direction we're going in. That was actually something I said to GP yesterday. Is I think part of the reason why there was a little bit of this lack of communication is because the core entities are very confident about where things are going for stacks. They're not worried.
Right.
They feel like it's gonna go where we're expecting it to go. So whether it happens this month or 2 months from now is really not super relevant to them, because it's going to happen and they're confident about that. So it's just a matter of making sure that the communities understand these expectations and have the right expectations to avoid some of the frustration and anxiety when they don't know that it's coming.
And that's completely reasonable, and you're 100% correct, I believe. And so, like, as long as we can keep that up, that's healthy, and that's good. And I think and it's already been productive, so we keep doing that. But I mean, just something that simple can change a whole tone. You see, like, price action still sucks today, but how do you feel? You feel so much better than we did last Friday, right? Like, the community feels better. So much.
Right. I feel the community feels better. The price is the same.
It's a difference between intelligent FUD and unintelligent FUD.
The price is the same, but it's actually seems to be bottoming too. It seems to kind of be it's double bottoming, right?
I mean, look, I was going through transactions the other day, just looking in the past, and I'm looking at, like, Bitcoin buys at like $4,000 and $5,000, and I'm like, I remember what it felt like doing that. It didn't feel like you knew Bitcoin was going to hit $100,000. You just believed in where you were going, right? And so that's what it's all about. So if you can't do that, then you need to go buy some stock, man, or go buy a savings bond, or go like if you just got a FUD every time there's some volatility, get good, or go do something less risky. But, like, that's the name of the game. But we're in this to win it. We've got all the tools we need.
Right. Well, and then a lot of people too are kind of stuck in the mode of being reliant on other people to affect things for them. Like, they're sitting back and waiting for the outcomes from other people, rather than going out and figuring out what are the expectations, where are we going with this, what can I do? That's really what people really should be thinking about. What can they do besides bitching and moaning is not going to get you nowhere. It's really not. In fact, it'll probably hurt you, because people will think, well, why isn't this guy fixing it? Why aren't you?
I mean, it's bad for your testosterone, because if you need to sell a nut to double down on stacks or Bitcoin, it's atrophied. You've got a raisin in there that's no one's going to want to buy.
There's no value in your nuts anymore.
No, it's good, man. Like, I'm super excited.
The economics of bitching and moaning.
No, it really is like there's a lot to be positive about, and again, just ain't that worried about price. Not in the short term, because I was bullish buying stacks at I think the lowest I ever bought stacks that was 17 cents. I was I still believed. So,
I got 22. That's when my first stacks, and it was just I just had heard about it. My first stacks I got in March or so of 23 for 22 cents. I didn't go crazy into it. I wish I had.
Right.
And then I also spent it because it was so cheap. I also got in the habit of spending it like it was cheap. So
Right.
I don't
that still messes with you today. You see something for like 10, 15 stacks. You're like, yeah, that's great. Oh shit, that was a lot of money.
That was 30 bucks actually. Or when it was like closer to like 350, and you're like,
right.
wait a minute, that's 100. 30 stacks is $100. It's not $6.
Yeah, no, like I've got an NFT. It's one of Boozy's early works. I bought it back in the day, and it was like 800 stacks at the time, right? And like that was down. So I was like, let me get that. Like I want this NFT. I like it. And now like if I'm gonna spend 800 stacks on something, I'm like, damn, like I don't know, like that's actually money now. But like back then, I was like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, it's all right. It's that's kind of it's the opposite of the U.S. dollar.
Oh, 100%.
Over time, it becomes less and less spendable. It's why we need dollar stable coins, because nobody wants to actually spend Bitcoin.
Right. Oh, 100%, dude. Like that's why I like Hermetica. I think it's brilliant. And again, that's another thing. We're going to be getting more liquidity into the system. Better stable coins. I think a easy unlock is Stacks feels very insulated relative to other crypto chains and applications and so forth, just like the thing with Dex Screener and all of these things. So like if we have concentrated effort on breaking down some walls and getting higher visibility, that's not a hard lift, right? But it's like it might be a little different if from some degens or some community members, bugging some protocol's Twitter page versus someone who can pick up a phone and like in their network, they're like, hey bro, like why isn't Stacks on here? Like what do we have to do to make this happen? And stuff like that will go a long way. And it's nothing hard that has to be done. So there's a lot of value to unlock, and it's just a matter of setting up different priorities and knocking out the easy stuff and then putting heads together and figuring out the medium and hard stuff and execute. And we're golden, man.
That's it. But you know what, man? We're doing it too, right?
No, 100%.
Happening. This is what's happening. It almost, I say this often now, like it seems like it's just writing itself, for all the efforts and all the things. Like for me, just from a DeOrganized perspective, like a lot of times I'll step back and I'm like, I got to do this and I got to do this and I got to do this and I haven't done this yet. I can only do one thing at a time, right? So I focus on as much as I can priority wise. And then all of a sudden, Trippin' Monkeys takes it upon himself to build us a website and give us all this functionality and new options as to what we can and can't do. Or we have a space with the Easy A app guys and they talk about being close. And now all of a sudden we've actually done live on location broadcasting and had an opportunity to do that. And it just happens, it's just being prepared. Luck is just where preparedness meets opportunity. Tripp says that a lot. You know, that's really it. If we're constantly working on it and constantly working on it and constantly working on it, when the opportunities come, well, we got lucky. We got lucky.
Right. And that's just it. Like that's just the reality of where we're at. You've had a lot of legwork, a lot of groundwork put in. And, now it's just a matter of the opportunity meeting that preparation and everything changes. But yeah, dude, people are going to have a bad time with these EVM based Bitcoin L2s that are, overhyping themselves with, we have not $100 billion worth of Bitcoin. And in reality, if you look at it, it's like a pump fund meme coin chart. They've got, you got a meme coin with $7,000 worth of liquidity, and a $2 million market cap. Like, wait, really? It's up with Bitcoin, and that's going to be endemic in the L2 space. But most people aren't just thinking about that, right? And it's not going to be that drastic, but that's the underlying dynamic of what's going on.
Right. It's just it's less secure than other options that in the space that like SBTC.
So the way that SBTC works, you have a Bitcoin, you have a S Bitcoin, right? Like that's what you got. It's that simple. It's all there, and it's all secured.
Not some unknown corporate entity with a bunch of layers that's actually there custodying the contract or control the wallet. It's a federated system of known trusted providers that the community actually had input on for how they're for the criteria for being selected. Who's going to hold it. So I get it. It's not. Is it perfect? Is it as decentralized as Bitcoin? No, it's not as decentralized as Bitcoin itself. But that's the trade-off: is the functionality, the speed, and the DeFi, and it's trust mitigated. It's with an eye towards being more decentralized than an EVM wrapper.
Any other alternative. And then when you pair that with the good communication, that's like, oh yeah, look guys, this is new. Like this just happened. So it's going to be even further decentralized, and it's going to be even more federated, and there'll be this model scales, but like nobody releases anything, where it's just absolutely in its optimized point. Right, like, okay, so take like a Cybertruck for instance. The Cybertruck's cool. It's got all kind of cool stuff. I guarantee you, the second gen Cybertruck is going to have different upgrades because they know it needs to be fixed. First gen,
There's a reason why beta testers get rewards,
right?
Because it's not the finished product. So there needs to be an added incentive for them to participate so that they can work out the bugs, work out the kinks, get the feedback, and build it better so that it better serves a community. And then you iterate that product. And you can't, the age of building something and then sitting back and collecting checks, that's 100 years ago. You can't build a business and expect it to actually be the same model 2 years from now. You can't.
Right.
It changes so fast. Everything.
And this is and blockchain moves fast, and AI moves real fast. Like, so just be ready with that level of discomfort and adapt and be ready to respond, right? Because again, no one was talking about NFT AI agents literally en masse until yesterday.
2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago, no one was talking about it.
And now, like, pretty soon, 3 months from now, what's that going to look like? Right? Like, it's gonna look crazy.
Right.
And we can't even fully see it. So you have to be ready to jump when you can and iterate as you go.
That's it. That's it. GP, what do you got going on today?
Listening to two Giga Chads like speak about everything in the space and cover all the good news and staying informed. Today, I am going to be looking for. Is there a SIP call today?
SIP call at 11.
Do you know if Hero's doing one?
Yep.
So looking forward to that. I'm working on some art, trying to finish up the Rue meme collab art, and working on some stuff with the XRP token as well for the OG holders. A little bit of everything, dude. A little bit of everything. It's going to be a good Friday. I can feel the energy in the space, and really looking forward to the AI Stacks Invaders upgrade and seeing what the new website looks like. There's so much to look forward to being built in this space right now, including like new platforms for artists to launch NFTs and stuff like that. We have Gated, and then I've talked to a few other builders in the space that are looking to cater to artists. And yeah, dude, the energy, like you guys were talking about the energy shift, we talked to Manib on Monday, and then now we're at Friday, and I can feel I feel like people are more content. We're back to where we were with, before concerns were raised, and now we continue to build. So it's good. It's good. The frequency's high today. I can feel it.
Yeah,
I feel it too, man. I feel it too.
100%. Yeah, we've got the syndicate working on our front end for the website, and
Rocky's got it.
Oh,
that dude, it's gonna be sick. Like the end result, people are gonna be able to take their Stacks Invaders, see what they got, and then part of that's gonna look like artists will be able to create art for Stacks Invaders, sell it, and then these people can buy it, go to the website, and completely customize their invader. Like,
that's huge.
Yeah,
that's gigantic.
And then like when you then
look at
AI functionality coming, like it's going to be wild. But like
it is wild, and Reese wants to remind us all that he's got the first art NFT being launched on Gated, or the first NFT. I don't know if it's a mint or if it's going to be an auction or exactly how it's going to be, but the Machines project is launching on Gated. So shout out gated.so. You guys, Gary needs you guys to go and set up an account. Cost you 1 stacks to do it.
That Machines art is bad, man.
It's really good.
I told Reese yesterday, I'm like, dude, like I saw one of them, like I want that in a stained glass window. Like it's just so cool looking, Yeah.
Cool. And Hero has confirmed there is a SIP call today.
Nice.
January 25th.
Solid.
All right.
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, you guys.
Oh, that's right around the corner, man.
That's only a 2 week. That's like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
yeah, dude.
5 days.
Excited to see what Gated looks like for NFTs and like what the whole process of launching on Gated is going to look like. It's really cool to see these different platforms, like I said, like catering to artists, and like now we have more than one place to launch Stacks NFTs, and great builders in the space too.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, great. I actually heard from Leo from Seigel that they're working on their V2, and he's coming a long way, and he suggested some cool stuff. Because we're going to be integrating that with, well, I say all this when I say we, but Trip's going to be integrating all that stuff with the organized platform. So you'll be able to do some stuff with Seigel right through the platform, and then like we're going to try to integrate with like Gated and Zero Authority and all of that too, so that these tools so that you can plug into these tools through this platform, and then they'll, or you can actually get into your DeOrganized stuff maybe through their platform and stuff like that too. So it's really interesting.
I'm so excited about Seigel again. Like I've had the itch to write again, and I just don't. I can write the Twitter articles, and Twitter is a great way to disseminate it, but like I don't know, it feels like your muse is missing.
I don't think that I like Twitter for a lot of things. I don't feel like the articles on Twitter get enough reach for like they should be. Why is the algorithm seems to like kill the articles? It's silly.
No, it's true. It's so hard to get reach there anyway. But then by the same token, like if I write something on Twitter, it belongs to me and Twitter, basically. It belongs to them. But like I've got some little bit of control there.
Right.
When I write something on Seigel, it's mine. It's mine for all time. And that's like, I don't know, to me, like that's why I'm here. Like when I saw Seigel and not just the art for the NFTs, which is really cool, still to this day one of my favorite NFT collections, but the actual functionality, especially during that time period when like the whole culture was so censorship heavy, and I'm like, there's real value to this. Like this is something where people can write their thoughts and nobody can censor them, and it's there, And man, like I'm in the DMs with Leo. I'm super pumped. Like, and integrating with that with DeOrganized is just perfect. Like, I cannot wait to start writing again. You know, like I'm so ready.
I suspect, I can't imagine that anyone has actually produced more articles on Seigel than you.
There's actually, you'd be surprised. There was some people who were super prolific. I was up there, but they had some guys who really took that at a level and just ran with it. So I'm definitely one of the top creators in terms of frequency, but I'm not number one. But then the talent of the writers, dude, like we've got people in this ecosystem like Trig, he's really big in ordinals since ordinals came out. Dude's a brilliant writer. Good Kitty, absolutely brilliant writer. Like you've got some just
yeah
talent, and to see that part kick off again and be a part of DeOrganized, what I see is the first thing that I ever wanted to see in Stacks, which is exactly what you're doing. Which is why, since I've always said, like, man, I'll support this in every way I can because this is necessary, and it's playing out. It's just right, you know.
It's just writing itself, man. You just put the effort in. You have some vision. You focus on what you want. Focus on the world as you want to experience it, and then you try to determine what the version of yourself is that experiences that world, and you work towards being that. And
because when you look at where we're going with AI, so much content is already AI generated. And you're going to have more like video type AI generation. And here we are with BNSs, with crypto wallets, with reputation, with like you can go to DeOrganized and you can have real people talking about real stuff. You can read real articles written by real people, and like there's going to be a premium on that. I think just like when people freak out about AI art, I think there's always going to be a premium on art that's made by real artists. Like I don't think that, you know, you might have some hype driven thing that becomes like, oh yeah, this is the greatest AI artist and this is worth it. But for the most part, you're still going to have like just, you know, a premium on stuff made by actual humans. I mean, that's most of the content's going to be BS, you know, and it's going to be artificial, and so you now have this whole system in place where that can happen, and yeah, as you scale out to, you know, things like Derupt and social media platforms that are decentralized. Like I'd go to Noster, but I hate Maxis. Like I don't hate them, like I don't wish them bad, but like they're just obnoxious. Like I'm not gonna hang up.
There's a lot of things there are a lot of really cool things about Noster, but the cincher for me so far has been Dan Trevino deciding not to build Napster into Boom Wallet and going with something else. I think it's called Matrix, which I'm less familiar with, but because Dan was he's super high on that, on Noster. Like he wanted it to be in there. He was looking for that. And the fact that he couldn't get that to work out for what he's building says it all. It's just not. It's not for that.
Right.
It's too bad.
And no, look, you're gonna have three different kind of Bitcoiners. You have people who own Bitcoin on paper, and that's going to be the majority of people, right? You're going to have people who just like self-custody their precious, and they just sit in their little golem cave, you know, just my precious. And then you have the people who are going to like use Bitcoin to do cool shit. And so that's where we're at. And I think that's why I think we're going to win, because I think that the people who are using Bitcoin to actually build and do things, that's where the money's at. That's where the vision's at, and that's where the future's at. And so look, some people just ain't there. That's okay. Like I don't own any MicroStrategy stock. I'm not going to. Like
no,
I don't but if you want to do that, that's fine. Like I want to do cool shit with Bitcoin.
Yeah, and it's so there's just so much happening. Like think about all of the all of the things we just talked about. We just talked about probably like 10 projects that are still in the bootstrap phase, more or less, that have tons of potential for what we're building out in this ecosystem. And they're all open source to a degree, so they can all integrate with each other in various ways too. So it's kind of like it's kind of like what when the internet first launched and we thought it was going to be open and free. Well, now it is actually. Now it is. As long as we keep working at it, and that's our goal.
Wait, I gotta ask Gigapeppy this. Can you imagine what it's going to be like seeing the Donald Trump invader and the Joe Biden invader talking shit to each other on social media?
I'm counting on it.
Yo, it's gonna be it's gonna be great to see like Stacks Invaders like create their own story and their own lore, right? And you're seeing these different chatbots working together to like feed you information, and then also like you want a little bit of parody, you can have that too. Like Joe Biden and Trump arguing in the timeline. It's gonna be fun, dude.
But when
it's
you were
be a bunch of fun.
When you were making the 1980s upgrade for the invaders, when you were doing that art and the silver and gold and all that, we weren't thinking like, hey, these attributes are going to like eventually affect an AI's personality. We weren't thinking about that.
Yeah.
Right? Like
it's wild to see where the concept has come, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
And it's just
this
fun.
Is like that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing is that like everything that I've experienced in Rue has like definitely been good for my bags and very fun to do. Like, you know, you had an engaging mint with the Stacks Invaders where you kind of had to compete to win the block. You know, multiple people were bidding on minting these NFTs, right? And there's a little bit of competition. So that gave you a really evenly distributed supply of these NFTs, and now you're going to bring like AI into the mix with them. I'm hyper bullish on it, and then you're going to give artists a platform where, you know, they can create skins and stuff for the NFTs. So it's really cool. I love the concept, and it's been like I said, it's been a ton of fun.
And like that's so if you take that and you just take this one simple little thing, and you're like, wow, like look how cool that can be, and you've got a whole ecosystem full of that, and you know where you're just going to iterate and keep seeing new cool stuff being done, and this is what you need, and people need to know about it, and they're going to learn, and it's an exciting place to be. You know, this is all, you're right, we're in the bootstrap stage, but there's so many cool things that are coming, and this whole internet, like you said, Peace, it's changing. You know, the whole thing is changing. It's open, it's free, and the sky's the limit, man.
Yeah, it is. The sky is the limit. And you know, one of the things I would say is that we need to maybe just be a little bit more focused on moving forward, and less like when you get those scary headlines and you get those things that are making you feel unhappy about the future, ignore them. Reject those thoughts. I reject that. That's not the outcome we're going to experience. It's a potential. All things are just potential until they happen. So you just use your mind and deflect them like a Jedi. That's the way to go.
Facts.
Friendly reminder, and I should have said this earlier, but we've had the scroll at the bottom. You guys need to give GPSC _BTC a follow. You can also scan the QR code right here. Homie had to set up a new Facebook, a new X account, an X handle. You know, we're trying to build up his follower count back up. He lost thousands of followers. So if you think you're following him, you may not be. Double check GPSC _BTC. You got to help the brother build out his profile so he can help support us to the extent that he was doing. Because We need him. He's a huge value to our ecosystem. So
Facts.
follow GPSC. Get out there and give the brother a follow. And I always a pleasure. We're pulling up on 10 a.m. So it's about an hour and a half we've been going. Great conversation as always. I love both of you guys so much. And I'll be in the SIP call at 11. I realize sometimes you guys can't make it, but if you can, always happy to have you out there as well. And all of you. Why don't you guys give us a final word before we wrap up? Jack.
Oh, look, it's exciting. It's a cool time to be building. It's going to be rough probably until the 20th. I can't imagine, and on a serious note here, like we've just had a lot of people lose everything in the United States and in the city of Los Angeles and the surrounding area. And so like our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to those people. Like losing all your shit's hard. Like I've been there. Like it sucks. So, we're thinking about you and we're just all looking towards a better day. And it's part of why we do what we do.
Right on, man. GP, what you got for us?
Yeah, man. Seeing the energy shift from a little bit of an anxious, we were in an anxious place and now we're feeling more bullish. It's good to see the vibes higher. Just remember to keep the frequency high. Try to keep love in the room, and if you keep chipping away, we'll get the building done, guys. So let's just keep working hard, and we'll get there. We'll make it.
Right on. You guys have a blessed day. I am PeaceLoveMusic. We are DeOrganized Media, coming at you live on BitcoinLive, Decentralized Broadcasting, bringing you the latest on stacks and the Bitcoin and broader crypto ecosystem. And had some Chads on here today with me, and you guys should definitely be paying attention to what they're telling us, because things look bright, even though might be a little dark for the short term. Y'all have a blessed day. Happy Friday. Keep working hard. Finish the week strong. We'll be back with you on Monday. Come out to the SIP call in a little while. Peace out.